This not your average podcast. You ain't talking about nothing. When they hit the highway, yeah, they talking about something. Better tune in and listen. Get the scoop they digging. It's just an open discussion. Now tell me what's your position. This not your average podcast. You ain't talking about nothing. When they hit the highway, yeah, they talking about something. Better tune in and listen. Get the scoop they digging. It's just an open discussion. Now tell me what's your position. Lady Roscoe on point, she gon' tell you the drill. You got Yoko Camille, all work, no play, she gon' give you the spiel. Let's talk about it, what's the truth? They just keeping it real. Square business, that's the deal. They gon' speak on something, just pick a topic, get it poppin'. Not your average type of show, they keep it rockin', ain't no stopping. Controversial, who cares? We taking over, keep on watching. Motion steady on go, anticipation got 'em flocking. Ain't nothing average about it, just keep glad that you found it. Tell a friend about it, know we all about it, so we gon' speak about it. Yoko Camille and Lady Roscoe, leave no doubt about it. Scream it out from the mouth. This not your average podcast. You ain't talking about nothing. When they hit the highway, yeah, they talking about something. Better tune in and listen. Get the scoop they digging. It's just an open discussion. Now tell me what's your position. You know what it is. Not your average podcast. You know what I'm saying? Yoko Camille, Lady Roscoe. Y'all tap in. You know what I'm saying?
All right, welcome to Not Your Average Podcast.
Yes.
With Lady Roscoe
And Yoko Camille.
Thank you for tuning in.
Good. So, how are you feeling today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great. You know, the beautiful weather outside, beautiful things going on.
How was your New Year's?
Actually, it was pretty good. I spent it, working. I spent a little bit with you.
Yep,
New
you did.
Eve, and then I had some people come over so we can brainstorm about some other projects, and pretty much it was chill. What about you?
So, besides recording our last episode, I had a New Year's Eve party. So it was supposed to be all of us in matching pajamas, the couples.
Oh, that's cute.
And for some reason, it just did not work out. So I ordered our pajamas off of our onesies off Amazon.
Okay.
And only his came. It picked up his, but it didn't pick up mine.
What?
Yeah. So it looks like once you click it, it would put both of them in the cart.
Yeah.
But you have to go from man to woman and add both of them in the cart.
Don't advertise couple clothes.
If you got to do it separately.
Yeah.
So that messed up ours. He got his, I didn't get mine.
Right.
Same thing with the other two couples.
Yeah.
His came, but the others didn't come.
Oh wow.
And so one of them didn't fit. So we just went in matching clothes.
Okay.
And we all brought a dish. So I made my strawberry Oreo bites.
That sounds good.
And when I tell you they're amazing, oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
They are. And I made some cinnamon rolls for the first time.
How'd that go? From scratch?
Yes, from scratch.
Wow.
So it came out good, actually. So
Okay.
the only part that was messed up is when I had to make the brown sugar cinnamon mix.
Mm-hmm.
And so she had melted butter when I was looking at the video.
Okay.
So I melted butter and then brown sugar and everything together.
Yeah.
And it was really liquidy. So, I poured it on there. I was like, this shit ain't right.
Uh-oh.
And I was folding. And as I'm folding, it's coming out too.
Because it's like oozing.
It
out.
is.
Okay.
So, I went ahead and I put some butter down and I softened up some butter and put it down. Then I added the brown sugar and cinnamon on top of that. And then the rest of the stuff I had made, I just poured it on top of it.
Okay.
And they was good.
Okay.
Besides the little screw up, they came out amazing.
Did it look good too?
They did. They
Okay.
did. So, girl, I can show you.
Yes.
I'll show y'all later.
Yeah.
But they came out really good. And I was shocked. So I said I definitely have to do it again.
Okay.
So that's them before I
Oh
cooked them.
snap! They look legit though.
Yeah.
Even before, that was before you cooked
right,
them.
that was. And so I was like, okay, I'm excited about that. And we went over there. We played games and had fun drinking and everything, and it was fun.
That's
so,
fun.
Yeah, it's the same people we went to Vegas with. So
That sounds like a good group of people then.
it is, and it's a different age range. Like me and my boyfriend is the oldest.
Okay.
But we got some 30s and 20s in there. So
But it sounds like a good group of people, mature. So
yeah, very, very.
that sounds good. Well, then that leads pretty much into our topic today.
It does. And it's like, what is your definition of romance?
Man, romance. What can I say? I feel like romance is the gestures, expressions, things done to when you care about someone. Things done in or something sweet. It doesn't have to be expensive. It could be just like I take you to the park and we have a picnic, and I cooked all the meals, or I made the whole meal,
Yeah.
or I plan a date from skydiving to us going bumper carts, or you know what I mean, like, or the time and effort to be with somebody. It's just romance, you know. I feel like a lot of relationships, especially these days, lack romance,
Very much so.
and I feel like we need to kind of get back into it. What do you think?
Exactly. So I'm gonna start off by saying like the definition of romance is.
Okay.
And the dictionary says it's a feeling of excitement and mystery associated with love. To me, romance is different with everyone and can mean different things.
Okay.
And I do feel that it's very important in a relationship to have romance.
Yes.
And there's a saying that whatever you do to keep her or get them is the same thing you have to do to keep them. So just say, for instance, you start in the beginning of your relationship buying flowers or doing certain things for your partner.
Right.
You can't just stop in the middle of the relationship, stop doing it, and think everything's just going to be all hunky-dory.
Exactly.
They was getting treated well, getting those gifts in the beginning. So you have to continue it.
Right.
And you don't have to, I'm not saying it has to be like an everyday thing or an every week thing.
Right.
You can do every other week, once or twice a month.
Right.
You don't have to break the bank. You just have to let them know that, you know, you're still thinking about them and you still care.
Yeah. That, you know what, you made a good point, because a lot of people do the initial thing to get the person. You know, we'll just give it the perspective of like a man. So a lot of men tend to court women. They take them on dates. They do all this nice stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like they don't want to go anywhere anymore.
Exactly.
They don't want to go out anymore. They don't want to do these things, and they're like, why would I have? Why do I want to do this for you? Why? And then that's where the romance, I feel like, falls out, because then the other partner is just feeling like, where's the person that I got with? Where's the that I had? And now you're losing your romantic side, because you might have done different romantic gestures, and now they're feeling the lack of that too.
What characteristics do you think a romantic partner needs?
That's a good one. You stumped me.
So to me, a romantic partner, they have to be attentive.
Okay.
They need to pay attention to like the things you say, so that way they can always come back around. And like if they're doing something for you, they're listening.
Yes.
They don't have to be, man, what do I have to get them?
Right.
So they need to be attentive. They need to be thoughtful.
Right.
You know, because it's not always the big things, it's the little things that matter.
True.
That count. So you don't have to always go breaking your bank thinking, oh, let me go buy someone this expensive things. You can be, just give me some flowers. Just give me a box of candy. Let me know that you're thinking about me. So
yeah,
thoughtfulness.
I've been in relationships where it's like, even like one of my most recent relationships, it was like, at first it was like, what do you want to do? Here's this, here's that. And now it's like, sometimes even telling me that I look nice, or
goodness.
telling me that I look pretty. Being in a relationship for over a year and that person does not give you one compliment, that can really kind of build a like a resentment in you, because I feel like that's when people start to look in other places for attention, and then your partner's getting angry, like, oh, why are you over there? Well, you don't even give me a compliment. You don't even tell me that I look nice, or I actually took the time to look good. And I'm the kind of person, I am a verbal, I'm like a love language. That's my language, is like being verbal. It's just like, oh, wow, if they look nice, I actually say you look nice today. I'm not fishing for a compliment, but if it's like, you don't give me any compliments, and I've noticed that I've been the only one ever to say that you look nice, or you this, or even to be inspiring, I feel like that would be.
And it doesn't have to be, give me a compliment when I'm not all dressed up and looking dolled up.
Yeah.
Because if you're only doing it when I'm all dolled up, like, so I'm bummy looking the rest of the time, you know, make me feel
like, hey, sexy, or something, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So
I definitely understand. I feel like they need to be willing, because there are things that I might want to do and you don't want to do, but there has to be some compromise. Right. And it might be some things you want to do that I don't want to do. But as part of being a partner, you have to compromise and be willing to do things for the other when you don't necessarily want to do those things.
Yes.
Yeah. I also think being creative, is important.
Yes.
Like I was saying before, you don't have to go buy something. I like art. So you can draw me something, you can make me something. You don't have to always spend money.
Right. And I feel like that's where people are missing. Like today's modern men and women, they're like, oh, like you heard that woman, the video where the woman's like, oh, the Cheesecake Factory was beneath her. I was like, girl, please look, at least the man wanted to take you out. Like, I don't understand why people are about this like bag.
Yes. Well, not Applebee's and Chili's, because their food ain't really that good these days. But I will still go to places like that because, man, give me a 2 for $20 or whatever the case is. Like,
and somebody's paying for your meal. Like we were stating, it doesn't matter about buying things, but it was the gesture of, I want to take you out somewhere nice. And I think that guy was trying to take her somewhere nicer anyways, but like they had missed their reservation. So that was the next place. But still, look, it's kind of pricey. Half of these people who say this stuff can't even afford these restaurants or go to these places anyways.
Yes, exactly. And like, if you're doing something for me, regardless of what it is, I'm going to try to be grateful and show how much I appreciate you. And not be like, oh, well, I want it.
Right.
Like, no, that's selfish.
Right.
So you should be grateful and appreciative of what your partner gives you, especially if they're willing and trying.
Yeah.
And the last thing I think is they need to be considerate of their partner's needs and wants.
Okay, yes.
I'm saying that, like, for instance, if you want something or you have a dream that you want to accomplish, like them helping you achieve your dream and goals. Encouragement.
I am very strong on that. I believe that's good too. Like being supportive of the person's goals and encouraging them. Just, what else could I help you with? Is there anything that I could do? Even if you don't feel like I'm in that field, you can, like, if you like something, I'm like, hey, I saw something. This is what you like to do. Maybe you can, look into this. And that might be something that might help you. And that's romantic too, because that's that gesture of like caring and stuff.
Exactly. Yes. And I also feel it's important for each other to learn each other's love language. I know you mentioned that a little while ago.
Yeah.
And so I actually took the love language quiz, and my love languages are in this order. It's 5 of them. It is acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation, physical touch, and then receiving gifts. And acts of service mean the most to me because by definition, acts of service is anything a person does to ease the burden or responsibilities weighing on a person.
Okay, yes.
So for instance, if the house is dirty and my boyfriend said, oh, let me do this, and I don't have to ask him, that means so much to me.
Yeah.
That's better than going and buying me something, because I get tired of cleaning up. So if you just, help me out a little bit around the house here and there, then hey, I appreciate that more than you go and buy me something, because material things don't mean shit to me.
Nope.
So you can go help me around the house, tell me you love me, and we are all good.
It's nice. Material things are nice, but that's not the main concern or whatever.
Exactly. And I think it is important for you to take the love language quiz so you can know, the wants and needs of your other partner and how for you to express that to them, and it won't be so hard.
Right.
And so for any of you who haven't taken it, you can go to 5lovelanguages.com and you can figure out what your love language is, because it's important to know that. And it's important for your partner to know. So
yeah, especially if they care, And that was funny. I was going to mention too, I am very affectionate. So once I'm actually dating someone, I'm kind of like, oh my all over them, and I like to cuddle, and some people, and this is where it comes into play, where this person might not be so much for you. They may not like that. They may say, you know what, this is a little too much, and I think it's important to kind of establish that early in a relationship, because you don't want to get in a relationship months down the road. They don't say anything much, and now you're the affectionate one. They're not being affectionate. You're also the ones with words of affirmation. They're not that way either. Exactly. And it's like, then you're like, you know what, maybe we shouldn't be together. And it's like, well, why not? Because we didn't establish what this is.
Exactly. And then it's also hard for some people to be romantic because they don't know how. So if you or your partner are having a hard time thinking of ways to be romantic, I did find a few things, ideas and tips to help you out.
Okay.
So one is go watch the sunset or stars.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I love watching the stars at night. It is so romantic. Like, what's more romantic than that?
I know, and silence and just seeing like the things gleaming, and especially when it's a clear night and you can see all the stars.
If you're on the beach, if you go to a beach, stay there all night, get you a tent, have you a little romantic setup, wake up to the sunset, go to sleep to the stars.
And you hear the ocean and the water.
There you go. That's your perfect date right there.
That's beautiful.
Draw each other.
Okay.
You don't have to be the perfect artist.
Right.
Draw each other.
I like that idea.
It's sort of like the caricatures.
Yeah.
But if your artist is going to come out good. If not, it won't. But it's your aspect of how your partner looks in a sense.
Okay.
And I think that's a fun way of doing something.
I like that. I like that. I would be afraid. The only time I've actually painted really well is, how the painting with the twist? The only reason why I painted decent is because they give you like the basic outline.
Yeah.
So then I drew everything else. So it looks good.
Whiskey or wine tasting?
Ooh, that is a brilliant idea.
I know around Austin there are tons of different breweries. So book a tour. Go see how whiskey is made. Go do a wine tasting tour. Okay. I mean, there are many different things you can do here. If you're not here, you can look it up. I mean, that's something fun. I've done a wine tasting when I lived in Arkansas.
Nice.
And it was good. I found some that I liked. I learned about the legs in the wine. That's the little things that's coming down when you drink.
Okay.
If they're further apart, I think that's the weaker it is, and the stronger they are, the stronger it is.
Okay.
So that's something you can do. Do an indoor picnic.
I like that.
Especially if the weather doesn't permit. Why go outside in some rainy weather where you can just have the picnic inside?
Rearrange everything, candlelit. That's nice.
Fireplace.
Music.
Hey. Go thrift shopping.
Oh, that's
Find each
funny.
other an outfit and go out on a date.
I like that.
Because, some people like always wearing name brand clothes. It's not about the outfit. It's what you are doing together and spending time. So go thrifting and find each other something to wear and have fun.
Yes.
On a budget.
On a budget. And thrifting is budgeting.
Yeah, it's like set a certain amount and you can't go over that, and you have to find something within that price range.
Okay.
Go on a double date.
I like that.
You don't always have to be by yourself. You can go play pool with another couple or something to mix it up.
Yes.
Also, have a baking contest.
A baking contest.
Or a cooking contest,
I can get competitive here.
Why not? Pick a dish and see who does it best. And you can learn from something from the other person and just have a good time and a good meal.
I like that.
So, there's a book that I got that helped us with some date ideas.
Okay.
And it's a year of creative date night ideas.
Oh, wow.
And in this book, it gives you a lot of different tips and ideas that you can do. And then you can actually write them down so that you can recap your date and put down all your most memorable moments. And it also gives you a section where you can create your own.
Okay.
And one of the things that me and my boyfriend is doing, we're writing a script that we plan on.
Like role playing?
Yeah.
Yeah. She said, yeah. I jump to it.
Yeah. Something like that.
Okay.
My mama listening.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we writing a script and we're gonna do that together.
Okay.
And that's something like we really need to get back to doing. But when we started, it was fun. So he write his scene, I write my scene, and we combine them, and
I like that.
we have our movie.
Aww.
So what is a question? What is the most romantic thing that a person has done for you?
Okay. I don't know the most romantic, but I have been on some good dates.
Mm-hmm.
I did go to, they have a very tall tower here. It's called Tower America.
Mm-hmm.
And basically it's like this, I guess like a Space Needle. I don't know what they call it, but exactly what that building is called. But there's a restaurant on the top of it. And it was like a surprise for me. And honestly, this person that I was dating for a while, short term, but they would come up with different date ideas every week.
Mm-hmm.
He also had the funds to do so.
Yes.
So we would go to the Tower of America. The next week we went rock climbing. The next week we would go to like a nice restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing, I think for Halloween, I wanted to dress up like couples. So I told him that we needed a matching outfit. And I told him that I had gotten a Cruella de Vil outfit. It was like from Fashion Nova. Yeah. And he was one of the puppies.
Oh God.
But he was in a tuxedo though. Okay. And he had got it made with spots. Mm-hmm. And then he had a collar on. All right. So he was like, we were dressed up nice still. Mm-hmm. And we went to a party. And that was nice. I felt like that was like a romantic thing as well. So those things, all combination, even I used to be engaged. My ex-fiance, he used to take me we used to live in Florida. Mm-hmm. We used to go to downtown Disney, and they have tons of like nice restaurants. We went down there and we went to like a dessert buffet. Mm-hmm. And it's where you get to go to Magic Kingdom, and because we used to work there too, so that's why we got him for free. Mm-hmm. But we used to, we did like a date night. There was a dessert thing, and then they had the fireworks. So it was really cute.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I can say. You're right.
Yeah. So
I will say the most romantic thing a person has done for me is currently my boyfriend told me I don't have to work if I want to,
That is amazing. I find it the best romantic thing in the world.
I just got to focus on my acting career, get that done. And I don't have to worry about working unless I want to. Mm-hmm. And so how many people can you honestly say that would tell you that? Like, go ahead and pursue your dreams and you don't have to worry about working.
It's very hard because a lot of times people want to, like I said, the modern mm-hmm. woman, modern man, they're like, oh, well, why are you staying home all day? I don't want to take care of you. And that's not the point. The mm-hmm. point is to support your partner. If your partner can pretty much do all of the work and lighten up the load, and it's not that much of a burden onto them.
Exactly.
I don't see the issue.
And that comes with the being considerate, mm-hmm. what I was saying, the characteristics.
Yes.
So he's being considerate that, I really want to be an actress and go far with this craft.
Okay.
And so he's attentive in that. And, he's like, go ahead and do your thing. I support you. And, I'll take care of everything until you able to take care of everything. So, hey.
Yeah, I like that. And that's that give and take. It's kind of like, and it's kind of also like when people get married, mm-hmm. Till death do us part, rich or poor, there's that balance.
Sickness
so,
and health, yeah.
Right. Because sometimes one person is doing more than the other person. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, I just had a baby. Mm-hmm. So, I didn't work for 2 months.
Right.
And luckily, my finances were already in order. But my daughter's father, he was there to help when it came to certain things that I needed to be done because I couldn't do them, And then I'm not working. I'm not bringing any extra money, mm-hmm. So there's that time that I needed to take a break. And even after I had her, it was a struggle. I needed help kind of walking and needed things. So I'm glad I had that help mm-hmm. because it would have sucked to walk around in pain alone.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. So, like I stated in the beginning, romance is different to different people,
Mm-hmm.
and it can come in all shapes, forms, sizes. So it doesn't always have to be someone spending money.
Right.
It can be something thoughtful, creative. It's always just the thought that counts.
Right.
And so me, I don't think I'm materialistic. I don't think I need you to go out and buy me this Gucci, Chanel, Prada, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just go buy me a teddy bear. Go get me some flowers. Get a card. You know, we can go walking on the park. It doesn't have to be an expensive ass date.
Just spend time with me and talk to me, damn it.
Not in the house.
Don't stare at your phone all day. That's my pet peeve. That's one of my like biggest issues. If I'm on a date with somebody, and because I was on a date with someone, and what I was in a relationship with, and the sad thing was he's in his phone all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting at the table, and I want to have conversation, but he seems to be too engaged in his device. And then I'm looking around the restaurant, and I'm seeing everybody else,
so many people
talking to each other. They're engaging with each other. They're having conversations. And it's like, and I have the same issue with that person, like when it came to multiple like dates. And it's like, what's the point of us going out if we're not going to conversate? We're just going to sit there, stare at our phone, wait till the food gets there, eat again. Like I only saw like one other couple. It was an older couple where they were like, one person was on their phone and the other person was just like, but everybody else was conversating. So to me, like not being in your phone, being in the moment is important to me, whether if it's like a small conversation or big, you know?
So one thing that we did, me and my boyfriend, is we're not doing it right now. We need to start back. After a certain time, no phone.
Oh, amen.
You just conversate with each other, converse with each other, and tell each other about the day and get to know each other again and talk instead of just being on social media.
Right.
And now it's like we've got back to the old ways where, you know, he's playing his game, he's bored, I'm on the phone looking at TikToks, but we need to do more of togetherness instead of
engaging.
Yeah.
Engaging with each other. I like that.
Because social media takes over and you'll be hooked and down the rabbit hole looking at things, and
next thing you know, you're asleep.
Yeah.
So you didn't conversate.
Definitely engage more with your partner.
Amen.
All right. So I think that's the end of the first part of our segment. So
I think so too.
Looking to have great memories captured in time for you to see whenever you like? Want wonderful photos for any occasion? Then contact Christina for all your unforgettable moments you want to cherish forever. You can go to her Instagram page with Rain and Light, and in her bio she states from Austin, Texas to wherever you are. You can also go to her website www.withrainandlight.com and get started with your memories today.
All right, so this is our Am I the Asshole section. But instead of Am I the Asshole, I'm going to be reading a horror story.
Ooh, I like that.
And it's titled, Every Person That Enters My Home Dies Within 24 Hours.
I love it.
Last week, my son came. I don't know how he's still alive. Part 1.
Okay.
All right, so I lived in this house with my brown Cocker Spaniel Finn for 15 years. Shortly after my arrival, every human who visited began to die completely out of the blue. I lived in a small town in the middle of Mississippi since I was very little. My life was a dream. A loving family and a well-paying job that gave me a lot of freedom, I thought. I had it all in till I moved into this place when I was 22. I had heard stories of this place. A family before me had been horrifically murdered in this house. 3 kids, 2 parents, and even a dog.
Wow.
A chocolate lab. They never found a cause or made an arrest. It seemed truly impossible. Since then, it was claimed that the house was haunted by the family, attempting to kill any human on the property. I didn't believe it until I actually saw it happen. That's crazy.
Yeah.
First with my brother, dying in a car crash with seemingly no cause.
Wow.
At this point, I still had no idea that it could possibly get any worse. Me and my brother were like best friends. Over the years after that, many more of my loved ones had passed. My best friend, 2 of my cousins, my parents, and even my first girlfriend. overdosing, shootings, fires, and even a horrific murder, all having an eerie similarity. Seemingly no cause. I was led into a dark state of depression. So many losses. I feared for the safety of my loved ones. I isolated myself in the pure hope that no one else would die because of my silly mistakes.
Mm.
How could a life go from being perfect to a living hell? Actually, worse than hell. Like non-stop burning alive. I hired an exorcist, a priest, and even many mediums in a desperate attempt to escape this hell. None of it worked. They proceeded to die in equally, if not worse, ways. They always made the ghosts in the house particularly angry. I met my current girlfriend 5 years ago. As a devout Christian, her parents banned her from living with me, or obviously sleeping in the same bed. I greatly appreciated that and respected their wishes,
Mm-hmm.
refusing to let her even enter my house. She didn't understand that I was trying to protect her and I love her. I didn't want to lose her, too.
Yeah.
I always noted that my girlfriend was very beautiful. I couldn't believe that she had chosen me over so many better looking guys. I always feared that one day she would see this and cheat on me like I feared. She could get any man. With long blonde hair and those aquamarine eyes, she was perfect. Even I knew that. She could get any man she wanted. I didn't know why she chose me, but I thought for once that she maybe truly did love me. I was so stupid. At the beginning of the year, my girlfriend fell pregnant. Her parents were completely distraught, believing that I had been a bad influence on her, influencing her into having my child. They didn't believe me as I desperately tried to convince them that I physically couldn't have. I'd never done that with anyone. I couldn't possibly think why my girlfriend would possibly do this to me. She must have cheated. I thought we were both in love. I felt so betrayed. She desperately tried to convince me that she had never done anything with anyone. I knew that was physically impossible. I couldn't believe that she could possibly think that I would be that stupid. Then again, she was very serious about it. I wanted to believe her, but I couldn't.
So he brought her into the house.
He had to.
Oh my God, no!
But well, if she didn't, no, she didn't die. She's just pregnant.
So you think like a ghost maybe got her pregnant?
But how?
You gotta ask Mary.
If she never came, if she never came in the house, how is it possible for her to be pregnant? If they never had sex?
So they never had sex.
So she had to sleep with somebody else.
Right.
Or he has a doppelganger or something. This is just part one.
Part one. This is very interesting because now you're wondering what's going to happen. Like,
exactly.
is he gonna lure her in the house so then she can die? Like,
how? I mean, does she think that he got her pregnant? Did she actually sleep with someone else?
Did she say who the father was?
I mean, we won't know until we get the next one. And
how do you feel about this? How do you feel about this?
First of all, why the hell are you still in the house?
Why are you still in the house? Because what he said, his brother died of a mysterious accident.
His cousins,
yes.
His brother.
Yeah.
Who else do you have alive? Why are you? Do you hate your family?
Must be hating his family.
You couldn't been in that much of a depression if you are still staying there.
Still staying there, and the only person you have left is this pregnant girlfriend who you never slept with.
Come on, some ain't right. Like I need to know what's going on.
Well, you know, DNA test these days. Maybe he got drunk one night and he just doesn't remember.
Test on a ghost?
Well, we could just test it against the boyfriend and he'll know. We already know the answer, but maybe there's more to it that we don't know.
And then, did it say how far along she was? No, it just said she was pregnant. So it then also depends on how far along she is.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of different things that just go into that. Like, are we in love? Do I stay with you? Do I leave? You need to tell me something.
And now your parents are blaming me for something that I didn't do.
Yeah, so you got them looking at me crazy thinking I'm a bad person when I've told them that we're not going to do anything. So, ooh, yeah, that's a lot.
That is a lot. I'm ready to hear part 2 of this juicy story.
Because there is no way that she's pregnant and y'all haven't had sex unless she's messed with someone else, or there's a possible ghost. I don't know why you're still in the house. If your whole family has been killed in all these weird ways, and you know this.
Yeah.
So how do you keep going? How do you keep staying there?
It reminds me of, did you ever watch the first season of American Horror Story? Mm-hmm. And then everybody was in that house. And I was a little disappointed to find out that girl was dead the whole time. I was like, that was a stab to my heart. I was like, she's dead the whole time. So, yeah. They tricked me. Yeah. So, and he's like, people die and they're not like
murders and suicides and overdose.
Like, what would you, let's start from the beginning. Would you move into a house knowing that all this bad juju is going on?
Not knowingly. Like, it has to be a really low price on that house. And I have to be really desperate to go ahead and move in there. Like, I don't want to live in a house there has been any kind of murders or none of that.
Right.
Like, at all. Even if it was an accident, I don't want to be there. I don't want those ghosts hunting me.
Yeah. Like, I actually found out they, like, landlords and apartment people, they don't have to disclose that information. If you ask, yeah, but they don't have to, like, they don't tell you, because I think one of my old apartment complexes, there was a girl who was murdered by her boyfriend. That morning, I think I went out, I got something. What's crazy is, so side note, sorry,
no, you're good.
There's like the way you can park on the side of the building of the complex, and then you can park in the front. Normally I park on the side, but something told me, like, no, just park in front of where my stairs are. When I woke up that day, they had caution tape where, like, I normally park on the side of the building.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's weird. And so when I saw the caution tape and everybody was kind of standing around, I just assumed, like, somebody old died. Ugh. Because, like, in my head, I'm like, I'm not thinking about murder.
Right.
Like, I'm not thinking, like, literally it was the next building over. So I was like, oh, it must have been, like, an old lady who passed out and died, because they had the coroner vehicle come up and stuff. But come to find out, it was a young woman. She had, her boyfriend had came over. And I guess they had an argument, but the night before, I guess she was on the phone with her mom, and her mom was, like, basically wanting to do a follow-up with her. And she never followed up with her mom. So her mom did, like, a wellness check, sent the police over.
Okay.
And so the police did come over. They were trying to, see what was going on. She didn't answer the door, but they looked through the window and saw the boyfriend, like, huddling in, like, a corner or something. And I guess he was trying to kill himself because he had already murdered her. Yeah. And they had, like, their 2 young kids inside too. So they were able to pull him out. He was arrested. And what's so sad is I found out she actually used to work for the same company I was working at. And she actually just got fired the week before.
Oh.
So, and unfortunately, like, I was thinking for her kids and stuff, because, like, if she would have not gotten fired, and she would have, sad to say, like, lost her life while she was still under the job, she would have gotten, like, life insurance for her kids and stuff. But unfortunately that didn't happen. But yeah, like, that was sad. And I already know that the apartments just, like, cleaned up the apartment and then just threw somebody else in there.
Yeah. So
it's like, you don't know. And sometimes when you walk into places, you just feel eerie and stuff. And I always suggest to people, like, maybe, if you don't believe in it, like, maybe bless your house, say a prayer or something when you walk in.
I worked for this company. I'm going to say the name. Daughters of the Republic of Austin, or Texas, whatever. I forgot the name of it. Daughters of the Republic. And it was on Lamar or Anderson. And the lady would say, every time that you go in there, you need to say hi to the ghost.
Oh, Jesus.
So that they won't bother you.
Yeah.
You need to say hi and bye and let them know you're there. So every morning we come in, it's like, hey, ghost, good morning. And every time we leave, all right, bye, have a nice night. Otherwise, you come in and there will be something missing. And it's like old artifacts in there. So there's, like, wagon covers and stuff from, churning butter and all these different things that come from the past.
Yes.
So I believe there are spirits in those things. And so I'm definitely going to say hi and bye.
Right.
I didn't work there long.
Right.
Because you telling me there are ghosts here?
Yeah.
And I have to say hi and bye to them.
Yes.
And then I ended up stopped working there because I got up into an accident and some other crap. But yeah, the ghost, no.
No, I understand, because those are their items that they possess, and they might be coming back or to be with that item that they care about and attach to.
And these are Confederate generals and stuff like that. So yeah, I wasn't necessarily wanting to be there and have conversations with them or see them, or
they might not want to really conversate with us.
Not at all. So yeah, I just went ahead and left there, and to each their own. If you're good with talking to ghosts and kikiing and having a good time, then hey, all to you. But I don't want to be nowhere near ghosts.
Did you feel any energy when you were there?
Not really, but I wasn't necessarily trying to either.
Right.
Like I go in there, do my business, and leave.
Right.
And I have some pictures where that was during my modeling stage, so I do my little runway models because the bathroom was great for pictures.
Yes.
Like the brick wall in there was amazing to take pictures and have the backdrop. So I was in there taking pictures all the time.
Yes.
And so I did do a little walkthrough around their stuff, and it was just a little creepy, you know. And there was lights always off back there, so that wasn't my vibe.
Right.
That wasn't my vibe.
I think definitely we should get into like paranormal things in the future episodes on like what things have happened. To us. I think that's like definitely
most
great.
Definitely. I do want to go see the old Texas Chainsaw Massacre house and stuff.
Where's that at?
I forgot exactly what city that's in. I think it's one that starts with a G. I just can't remember.
We'll take a trip, right?
We can.
Okay, I'm with you.
Record. Y'all want to go with us?
Right. Cameras
we
on.
Definitely can do that. So I'm down. Whenever you want to book a trip, we can do it.
All right. That sounds fun.
And so that's the end of our Am I the Asshole section. And so we're going to move on to our next one.
Yes. And this is Music with Lady Roscoe, where we talk about current, past, and present music, entertainment, just for the best of ears. All right. So I'm just getting into a little bit of history of love songs since we're talking about romance today. I thought I'd keep with the theme, and I just thought, I'd share some historical information about music. So, for example, like love songs have been integrated in the part of human culture for centuries, transcending time and language to express the deepest of emotions and from the heart. Ancient ballads to modern hits, the history of love songs is a testament of the universal experience of love and the power of music that captures it in its essence. And the origins of love songs can be traced back to ancient civilizations such as like Mesopotamia and Egypt. And early societies, poets and musicians would use their art to celebrate love and romance. The ancient Greeks, they are known for their traditional poems, composition of songs honoring a wedding and expressing of joy and love.
They was thinking about romance back then too?
I mean, the Greeks were, honestly, if you think about it, the Greeks did a lot of things that are modern. I think even like the modern alphabet was like Greek. So we base a lot of things from the Greek, I've noticed.
It would be neat to find a song from that time and see what they consider romance compared to our romance songs,
Right.
And see how different they are.
I was thinking of Hercules, the movie Hercules. Disney. that was like, what kind of love songs could they play? Because they have little instruments and that's true.
They wouldn't know Casey and JoJo.
Heck no, they would be like, what is this you speak of? What is this romance? This romance. This is your romance? Yeah, so their music was often accompanied by flutes and lares. I'm not too sure what kind of instrument that is, but they created like melodic backdrops for celebration of love, And then when you get to like the Middle Ages, where the kind of like, Game of Thrones type of era. They had that was the best way I could think of.
Oh, they're singing to their sisters and brothers.
At last, I love you, my little sister. Like some crazy.
Oh my God.
They were it was definitely an interesting time as well.
It was. Oh God.
Oh my goodness. Their songs usually celebrated idolized love between knights and noble ladies. I don't know what considers a noble lady.
Somebody who probably rich. You know, the higher ups back then.
Right.
You know, not the maids and ain't nobody singing to no maids
or maids. They have no love.
The cooks and all that.
No. With they would do like lyrical melodies and poetic verses. Their songs were expressing of longing because, they would go to war, so they'd be gone. Passion, devotion associated with romantic love.
Well, I mean, Romeo and Juliet.
Ah, yes.
So
at last,
yeah. So it will be more stuff like that. I feel, what art through whatever they say,
right? I love you too, or thou is my love, and the Renaissance period, and the Renaissance period, they witnessed flourishing of love songs, and mostly in Italy, that they had a lot of love songs during that period, and they had compositions usually done in small groups. Which, if you think about it, I guess if you look back at certain movies or plays, they usually did perform in like courtyards. You know what I mean? So, they showcase like emotional depth and harmonies and love songs that, could be performed for other people. So I like that concept of love, because honestly, the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, I think it was also one of those was considered also the Dark Ages. When it comes to diseases. So all they had was love. You know what I mean?
They didn't have nothing else.
They didn't have nothing else except diseases,
famine,
and love. And love, And the 18th and 19th centuries, the Romantic era brought renewed focus on love and emotion in music, which were songs that were combined with poetry, which that's kind of like the repeated theme. Poetry in all these time periods. And music created intimate expressions of love. These songs were often accompanied by pianos, explored themes of heartbreak and transformative power of love. So it was kind of like the time period where music was starting to evolve.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then once we got to like the 20th century, we're kind of like our era, you saw the rise of popular genres that embrace love of their repertoire. Soulful melodies of jazz, catchy tunes, pop and rock, love songs became the mainstay of the music industry. Like Frank Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald, the Beatles, they captured like millions of hearts, with their renditions of love song, captivating listeners with their emotional depth and relatability. And Frank Sinatra, like he was definitely what the older folks would call a crooner. You know what I mean? That's how they would get into their love. And I do, Ella Fitzgerald, she's good too as well. And I actually like the Beatles. A lot of people, kind of sleep on them. But I like them. They tend to have some of their music is kind of out there because I believe they were on psychedelics a lot.
Yeah.
So if you listen to their stuff, it's like, oh, I'm a walrus. What? Oh, cuckoo, cuckoo. What? What? But I actually still like it. But then they have their, they have Eleanor Rigby. It's not really a love song per se because it is kind of depressing because she ends up dying alone. But it has the melody, the catchy tune, and I like that concept.
One of my favorite old school love songs, you mentioned her, is Ella Fitzgerald. At Last.
Yes.
At Last. I can't sing, so I'm not gonna
My love has come along. Yes.
I love that song. Boy. So and then when Beyonce did it too.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
She did a good job.
She did. She did. So that is definitely one of my favorite old school love ballads.
I like that. Are there any other love songs that you like?
There are a few. We met, like I said, Casey and JoJo.
Boyz II Men was good too.
Boyz II Men have a few. I'm trying to think of.
Although we've gone
Hey,
to the end of the road that I can't let go. It's
okay.
yes.
Hey.
I was about to follow right behind you.
Let's get not distracted.
Right. Like in today's love songs, they continue to evolve and adapt, changing with the musical landscape. So basically whatever is going on in the era, like Adele and Ed Sheeran, you got Taylor Swift, have carved a niche for themselves in this relatable love song era. And they are basically I can't even get the right word, resonating. I get tongue tied sometimes. With audience of all ages. So like the digital age has also made it a global experience of love songs. So now you're reaching a broader audience of it. And with these artists, they have different cultures and language. They can, create music that speaks a universal language. And honestly, there are some love songs that are not in English. Like I like some of the Spanish love songs that I have to look up the words. I can know a little bit of Spanish, but I have to look it up. And I just like, sometimes a song just sounds good. And you're like, oh, I love that. Or even Italian
it
songs.
doesn't even have to be just necessarily a love song. Like, I don't know Spanish. I don't know any other language, really. I know a little bit of Spanish.
Right.
But I be vibing and grooving with the Spanish music. Like,
yeah.
Cinco de Mayo ain't a real thing over there, but that's my birthday. So, I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm half Hispanic with my birthday. So,
yes, you are.
I be vibing,
You never know. Have you ever done those like ancestry tests?
I did. I'm part French and African. I no Spanish.
No. Oh, okay. Like I had like they have like I did too. I think it was like 1% Spain.
Oh,
like
no.
Spain.
I had like I think at first it was 6% French, but now it's down to like 1%. Yeah,
I know what you mean.
No, definitely.
Yeah, those things I gotta check on that. So, love songs, they hold a special place in the heart, like all worldwide, and they have the power to invoke memories, and I feel like they stir emotions, and they also bring people together.
They do.
And whether it be like a tender ballad or an upbeat anthem, love songs continue to source of comfort and inspiration and celebration and power, the power of love. Okay, so I do feel like it just brings all of that together.
It does. And you can express yourself in so many ways, through a love song. And one person in particular who does a really good job of writing love songs is John Legend.
Yes, he is good.
And here's one from him that I think is sort of amazing.
So yeah, that was like I definitely like his music, and honestly, so modern love songs continue to hold special places in our hearts, with the music love captured around the world. These songs have complexity of love, relationships, heartbreak, and various emotions that come with them. While top charting love songs may vary depending on time and region, so like with that, playing, here are some examples of some love songs. The Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. It's more like upbeat and infectious. The song explores like physical attraction and connection between two individuals. And I liked it too, because it's like doop 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 doop. So it's like it's cute, you know. And then
it's not your typical love ballad where it's slow. It's sort of like you said, upbeat.
Yeah. So it makes you feel giddy about love. And There's also Love Yourself by Justin Bieber. It's, catchy, melodic, emphasizes the importance of self-love and moving on from a toxic relationship.
And that is very important, especially before getting into a new relationship.
Oh my God. Because I've been in not many, but quite a few toxic relationships, including kind of recent. And I'm trying to get out of the bad habit of dealing with situations that do not benefit me.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, sometimes toxic relationships can be addicting. That type of bad dopamine high.
Yes.
So, don't get caught up in that, Someone Like You by Adele. This one's definitely emotional. It dives deep into the heartbreak, longing for lost love, and everyone, someone like you. Like, Adele is the best. Like,
she is. I give it to her.
Like, she's really good. Actually, when she came out, I don't know if it was this CD or this album, but I think it was this album. This album, she was going on tour, and I could be wrong, but I remember hearing that Rihanna was supposed to go on tour that same year, but she postponed her tour because Adele was coming out with the tour, and everybody, it's not everybody can go to everybody's concert.
Yeah.
So she was like, nope, I'm not about to compete with this girl.
Right.
Like, Rihanna is very talented and very good too, but sometimes, with the bigger artists, you might want to step back. And just like we were just listening to All of Me by John Legend, and this, it was more like soulful, heart celebrating unconditional love, accepting to partners, expressing deep sense of devotion.
Yes.
And I think that is so sweet because, in that video, he has his wife and you can just see the love, and it just makes you all like, oh my God.
But how can you not be crazy about Chrissy Teigen? She's so goofy and just lovable.
She's goofy and she's very honest too. Unapologetically honest.
Yeah.
And, being that, finding your partner that you can balance with is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Because sometimes you're not able to mesh with people properly, and that I find them to be good. Of course, not all relationships are perfect, but they've seemed to find their formula to support their foundation and their family.
And that's like, I guess, where our topic comes along, where you have to keep the romance going, keep the love alive, and you learn your partner by doing those romantic things. That way you can keep that bond going.
Right.
To have that.
Yes. Another example of a love song is the song Perfect by Ed Sheeran. It's sweet, tender, expresses sentiment of finding someone that completes you and makes you feel perfect. And I think that's beautiful. The song Havana by Camila Cabello and with Young Thug, it's not explicitly a love song, but it tells a story of passion, love affair, capturing excitement and the allure of new romance.
Okay.
So sometimes that's cool too. Like you get in something that's new and exciting, and it's like, it's this rush.
It is.
You get the butterflies.
You can't wait to see them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that beginning portion of like in the relationships.
Yes.
There's the song Stay by Rihanna. It's hauntingly beautiful ballad. And it has complexities of tumultuous relationships and the struggle of letting go. And it's true. Like, I do like the song too, but it is like a, please don't leave me.
Right.
There's that part of love and heartbreak where you're like, I just want to be with you, even if it's not toxic, right. Yeah. And like what I was saying, toxicity can be addicting, so, and then there's a Can't Help Falling in Love. And it was performed by Elvis. But it brings fresh and a delicate interpretation of timeless classic, invoking feelings and feeling deeply in love. And I think we've had all those too. And these songs, among others, have topped the charts, capturing hearts, listeners, making relatable lyrics, memorable melodies. They serve a testament to endure popularity of love songs, their ability to invoke powerful emotions to all ages and background, So I feel like music can be like another type of love language. Like, you can play songs in the background to kind of add an ambiance to maybe like your dates and or what, you know, a little, just whatever you want to do for that moment.
That's true.
Yeah. So thought I'd give that little tidbit.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, so we're back with our question of the week. And that question was, what does romance mean to you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that romance is important in a relationship?
Yes, yes.
So I touched on that a little bit where I do feel like it's important.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you have, whatever you do in the beginning of the relationship, you need to continue that throughout.
Right.
Because you got to keep that spark. You got to
Right.
let them know that you love them, you're thinking about them, you care, and it's not all about the money. So I think it's crucial to keep that romance in a relationship.
Yes, definitely. I believe it too. I definitely believe, you know, keeping that spark and just bringing it in there, because too many times a lot of couples that stay together long, they tend to get into a pattern and they lose that essence, and they lose kind of the sense of why they even got together in the first place.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure you maintain that. And I feel like, you know what, communication is major.
Vital.
Like, I feel that listening, both parties being able to
active listening.
I know you heard what I said, but are you engaging what I'm saying? And is it just what you say and what you want, or is it what the both of us want?
Yeah.
Because what both people, it has to matter. I feel like sometimes when people are so caught up in what they think or what's in their mind or what they're perceiving, what's going on in the situation, they're too clouded in their thought to actually see what's in front of them and the blessing that's in front of them. And I've had situations where I've struggled, where in relationships, people perceive myself as something else. And I've also, like, sometimes you can attract what you think you see.
Yeah.
And it's not what it is. And I feel like if you get to know that person maybe before you guys start dating, it would be easier to know who that person is.
And I think that's where, like, taking that 5 love language quiz come in, because when you take that and you share the results with each other, you can see what that other person expects, and they can learn what you expect, instead of, well, I did this for you and you're not appreciative. Well, they don't care about those type of things. It's these type of things that they care about. So learning what the other person needs is very vital and important in a relationship.
Yes.
And so we did have a few followers that did comment on our question of the week, and you can find those on Facebook and on our Instagram, and also at the end of our Spotify episodes.
Right.
So you can always look out for those. And we're just going to read a few of those to you.
Yes. So one of our users, he writes, romance is remembering the little things your partner loves and doing those things for them, such as walks, favorite colors, favorite movies, surprising them with a date night, preparing their favorite meals, or taking them to their favorite restaurant. You don't always have to go all out to be romantic.
Exactly. That is so true. Another one says, extremely important. Romance is keeping the butterflies in the stomach going.
Yes.
It's catering to your partner, anticipating their needs.
That is beautiful.
It's
the catering to their needs and wants, and just I like that concept.
Keeping the butterflies. Yes.
Yes. Romance is being thoughtful and making sacrifices, taking denial and defeat as best as you can, and being full of time. Yes, it's important, or it's dull and boring. Boredom is the devil's workshop.
That is true. When people say they're bored, okay. I can say from past experience, when I was in a relationship and they weren't giving me the attention that I needed, you start looking elsewhere. And I've learned from those mistakes, because it's not always getting that attention is good. You know, not all attention is good attention. And so if my partner had been paying more attention to my needs and the things that I needed, it wouldn't have necessarily been a reason or a need to step out in a situation because I would have been getting the things I needed there.
Mm-hmm.
And so now that I'm older and I'm with someone different, they see that I'm needing more of their attention. So they are trying to fix that. And so I don't have a need or a want to entertain anyone else.
Right.
So being that attentive person and not having to worry about, well, if I'm bored, I can go find something to do elsewhere.
Right.
I'm bored.
Right.
This person is going to help me be unbored. And so you just got to work on that.
You're exactly right, because there's that void. You're
Mm-hmm.
feeling like something needs to be filled,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not being satisfied by your partner. And even if the sad thing is sometimes you can communicate with your partner, because I've done that before in the
Mm-hmm.
past with partners. I've communicated certain things that I feel like could be worked on.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, sometimes people are stubborn and they're just like, well, that's just not who I am. And you're like, well, maybe we just aren't working.
Clicking, yeah. Well, you can be who you are by yourself, and I'm gonna be who I need over here with that person gonna help me get what I want.
And it's not a knock on that person. It's also maybe you need to find somebody that helps you in the way that you feel
Mm-hmm.
is what it is. It's not, because some people are like, well, you're not trying to compromise. Well, the fact that I've mentioned something and that other person's already not willing, that's the blocking of the compromising
Mm-hmm.
already right there. So,
your way isn't always the right way to
right. Exactly.
We have another person that says, romance is all the things that made you fall for that person. Keep it going. Remember what you did to get your other half, because that makes them fall for you. It goes both ways in relationships. What y'all did together with your time, the cooking, cleaning, listening, talking, the caring nature you have, the kisses and hugs, the meals, or even cooking them together. And mostly important, keep in mind that what that person is going through and being there for them through it all. It's all about what you have done in that time you have had together and keeping it important in both your lives.
Yes, that's true. And time is very precious.
It is.
It's very valuable. Some people don't value time, and time is just as valuable as money.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm feeling that I'm exerting all of this energy and I'm doing all this for you and you just don't care, I do feel like I'm wasting my time.
And that's not even with a romantic relationship. That's
Mm-hmm.
in any relationship.
True.
And what I like about us is you are, what's the word I'm looking? You are,
I'll take any compliment.
No. I'm not complimenting you, but you are a wonderful person.
Thank you.
You are considerate
Understood.
of my time.
Yes, true.
I'm considerate of your time.
Yes.
And so when we are doing our meetings for the podcast,
right.
when we're anything that we're doing that's requiring the other person's time, we try to make sure that we're together. We have everything so that we're not just bullshitting. You know? So regardless of whatever the relationship, you have to be considerate of that person's time that they're giving you and the things that they are doing for you.
Yes. And our last response is, in my opinion, romance is understanding your person, mm-hmm. being held accountable when needed, and maintaining happiness within yourself and your partner, along with the thing you did earn to get your partner. Remember the trials and tribulations it took to get you where you are now. It's really simple things that matter. To someone like myself, material things don't matter too much to me, but happiness does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I think pretty much I responded. I was like, there's no shortcuts. Life is, this romance is deeper than material things, because you cannot just move on and just say, oh, boom, this is it. This is this is that, and not expect it to be a good mm-hmm. situation for you. Like you just can't expect it to work. You can't just like, okay, I did this and I'm done. It's like watering a plant, growing a plant. You need to water it so it can grow, because if you don't, it's going to die. Mm-hmm. You need the attention for it. Because I have like a mini garden, and I'm not going to lie, it was flourishing at one point. Mm-hmm. But when I got pregnant, I was like, bump this garden, and not going to lie, all the plants died. But I want to get back into gardening, but it's that effort and energy to make the things grow, to turn it into something else.
Yeah. And we've had a garden before too, and it started, like you said, it started off good. We had corn, green beans, um, watermelon. We had some of everything.
Yes.
The only thing really grew was the cucumbers and the green beans, but they were also intertwined.
Okay, yes.
So you have to really go out there and pay attention and, focus on what you're doing. Otherwise, you're not going to get the products that you want.
Right.
And so we didn't take the time to make the garden the way that it should have been. So it didn't work out.
Right.
But yeah, you definitely have to put the time and effort into whatever you're doing if you want something to flourish, whether it's a garden or your relationship, your kids. You have to put in the work to make whatever you want to grow in something beautiful.
The results will show at the end.
It will.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the end of our question of the week. So we're going to go ahead and go into our next segment.
Yes.
What's going down with it, man? It's your boy Big Tone P, Mail Route Entertainment in the building, you know what I'm saying? Y'all go follow me on IG, big_tone_P, and Big Tone P on YouTube. Go like and subscribe to that channel. Shout out to Yoko Camille and Lady Roscoe. Not Your Average Podcast, man. Shout out. Much love, you know what I'm saying? Peace.
Welcome to Around the World and Back, where we talk about things that happened in the past and current events. Current events.
Sit back and enjoy the ride.
All right, so this is our episode called Around the World and Back, where we just discuss things from around the world.
Right.
And last week we talked about this young lady named Savannah Soto, and I just want to go back and talk about it a little more because we have some more information about her case.
Right.
So just to recap, she was an 18-year-old pregnant young lady who was due to go in and have her be induced on the 26th of December. Her and her boyfriend was missing, and they found them 3 to 4 days later in their car, shot in the back of the head. He was in the back seat, and she was in the front seat with her baby carrier covering her stomach, basically trying to protect her baby.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they were both found dead, all three of them, the unborn child, her, and the baby's father. So they did find two suspects, a father and a son. There is Christopher, I'm going to mess up his last name.
Okay.
Procado, Preciado. I know that's definitely wrong. He's 19. And then there was his father, Ramon, who was 53. The son has been charged with capital murder and abuse of a corpse and altering or destroying a concealed human corpse. And the father has been charged with abuse of a corpse and alter, destroy, concealed human corpse. So basically, the father wasn't there when the murder occurred. He just helped to dispose of the bodies.
And I don't feel like they just quote unquote disposed because they just left them in the car.
Right. And there are several different videos showing him dropping off the car. Well, both of
the body was moved. Okay, got it.
So he and someone else pulled the cars around. He got out, wiped off his vehicle, and he drove off. And the car was left there for a few days. And I just find it sad because you see so many things where people are talking about it's because of a drug deal going bad. That the young man was jealous of Matthew because he seen the things that were going on and the money that he was making. So that's one conspiracy theory that's really going on.
But the fact that you kill someone and their unborn child still gets me. It's like it's so sad because I just had a baby too, like a month before she was supposed to be due. So it's I couldn't even imagine like not being here, my kid not being here, and then my family mourning this.
And so, like, I'm in one of the discussion groups, and there have been people that have been bringing up, like, good questions. Like, they have the weapon in their possession for almost 2 weeks. Why?
Dang.
Why not dispose of it? Why would you keep it?
Yes.
And why would you stay here? You had the opportunity to go to a different state, yet you stayed here. You could have been in Mexico. Like, why stay?
Right.
And why were they just waiting
to get caught?
Yeah, why not leave? Why not go with family? So the father has been saying that we don't understand what's going on. We need to just, stay out of it. But you're going to jail for.
How can people just stay out of it while you help move a dead body, move the car? There's nothing to see here. You guys go mind your business.
I just helped my son, dispose of a body. Mind your business. It didn't have nothing to do with you.
Oh.
The hell it didn't.
Yeah, like you've got me all the way bumped up. Like that's just ludicrous, because there's 3 lives involved, and it's just like
the baby didn't do nothing.
No,
to anyone.
No,
they didn't even have a chance to take their first breath,
and they were about to be born too.
Yeah,
that's so sad.
So it just brings me back to the first episode, about being safe, especially watching your surroundings, because supposedly it was someone who knew her or knew them,
like a setup.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just so many narratives that's going around, and it's hard to really figure out what it is, and we won't know until the case is really solved.
And that's if they're able to get any additional information out the father and the son, because if you can't get that information, then you have to rely on either eyewitnesses or camera footage or anything that would help piece together a story to figure out why this tragedy even occurred.
Exactly. Because regardless if he was selling drugs or if it had to do with anything from what happened to her brother in the past, there are different ways that you can go by handling a situation. If you can't solve a problem without talking it out and you have to go resort to violence, it's something wrong with you.
Yes, and you have disregard of life.
Like, how can it be so simple? You made me mad. I'm gonna murk you.
You know what's crazy? So times have changed. I feel like a lot of things like social media has definitely influenced people, because I hate to say like back in the day, but like time, like give it a few years back, maybe 10, 15 years ago, it probably would have just been maybe the boyfriend. It wouldn't have been the boyfriend and the girlfriend with the unborn baby. It's one of those, oh, my man got shot in front of me and the person took off. Yeah. But nowadays it's like, I don't care. Your life doesn't matter. Her life doesn't matter. We're just going to get rid of the witnesses. Well, you did not achieve your goal because you're still caught at the end of the day. And that kid looked crazy to me. He looked like something was off about him. The father looked like a regular guy, but like the son just looked a little off. He had long hair. He looked a little disheveled, and it just looked like he probably is not wanting to grasp what happened, or like, he doesn't look like he wants to accept accountability. So that's quite disturbing for me.
Very much so. So I just wanted to touch back on that, just to let you all know that they have caught some people, and hopefully these are the people that did do it, and that they get put behind bars.
Right. I kind of want to, talk about like the Epstein list.
Okay.
Everybody's been talking about this list.
Oh
and,
my God.
What about this list? Like, there have been so many people's names and stuff that's shown up on the list.
So far, it's over 100 people.
Over 100 people, and sometimes it's like what they've probably like interacted with them, maybe at like a party or.
Yeah, that's so okay. There are people that are on there multiple times, and then there are people that's only on there like once.
Right.
And so I feel that the ones that are on there once maybe have saw something that they didn't really agree with, like, oh, this is some shady shit. Let me bounce.
Right.
But the ones that's on there multiple times,
they were like, oh, I like what's going on here.
Let me keep doing, whatever they were doing.
Right. Like they said, Bill Clinton was known to take like several plane trips with Epstein.
He's on there multiple times.
Mm-hmm. And they've had a couple of accusers to state like Clinton likes them young, but wasn't aware of him doing like sexual acts with minors. So it's like he might have been an observer.
Yeah.
Which could be just as bad. But we don't know. You know what I mean? Like they said Donald Trump was on that list as well. Yeah. But they haven't really found out of any allegations of sex trafficking or anything like that. Prince Andrew shows up on the list.
Yeah.
They have him under like, groping and, touching of young women's breasts, and he, denies it. But even though he's photographed of groping women, and he was even photographed with one of the minors at the time, who she's definitely spoken out, because at first he was just like, I don't know who she is, what she's talking about. Then the photo surfaces. Yeah. And people were like, well, why are you taking a picture with this minor?
Right.
And then you have, Ghislaine Maxwell was in the photo too. So it's like, it seems a little suspicious.
Yeah. And David Copperfield, he's on here, but he's not accused of any wrongdoings. So there are people on the list that, like we said, not necessarily did anything wrong. They saw something that they weren't supposed to.
Right.
And, kind of just, never came back.
Right. They tend to do that in the celebrity circles. Like they see things, but they don't say anything. And sometimes they're afraid of their status being taken away. Like maybe they won't get enough to get the jobs. Maybe they'll be blackballed. It kind of falls under the, what is the other guy's name? Who, the director that everybody doesn't like right now, who's in jail? Weinstein.
Oh yeah, Harvey.
Yes. Yeah. That the Weinstein thing is kind of what started everything, and a lot of people have so many interactions, and so many top stars and celebrities have came out against him. And it's like, the sad thing is there was this culture in Hollywood for a long time of, we're just not going to say anything. You always hear like, like they're the creeps, and they're the freaky people, and everybody knows about it, but no one's speaking up and out about it. Yeah. And now it's like, now we're in the era of awakening.
Me too.
The outrage time's up. And
I find it interesting that, people have always said things about Michael Jackson, that, he was a predator and all these type of things. So I did see his name on the list, but there's no accusations of him doing any wrongdoings.
Right.
And the lady who was there who met him, she said she didn't give him a massage and do anything to him, but he was young at the time. I'm quite sure some things happened.
Yeah.
But everybody always want to talk about Michael Jackson this, Michael Jackson that. He's on the list, and he's not being accused of any wrongdoing. So I think the people that did do some wrongdoing deserve to definitely go to jail. They deserve to have some things happening to them.
Right. And that's supposed to come out later. They said this list was just to put the list out, but they said later, I guess they were going to go more in detail.
There are people on there, their names are redacted because they're in countries that if people find out that their name's on the list, it's something going to get done to them. Like there's this one woman in a country that she got 30 days to get out. Before her name is released. And if she is not out before them 30 days, then she's digging. There are so many different people on there that's begging for their names not to come out.
Yeah.
I was reading about all these articles about people that's begging the judge, like, don't put my name on there, but it's going to get put on there. Like, why? What makes you so important where your name is redacted?
I guess sometimes it's these people who get involved. I think some people are afraid, because some of these people are so powerful that all of a sudden they're gone, or they disappear. Like, for example, the way that Epstein died, a lot of people have conspiracy on that was an inside job, and it wasn't him who actually committed suicide, and they were trying to prevent stuff to happen, but they were like, no, we're going to keep going anyway. So if more people go missing or more people like die, you're like, it's going to trace back to them. So we'll see how this goes. I'm not going to lie, I wasn't so thrilled about the list that came out, Some of the names that I saw on this list, I was not surprised.
Yeah.
Some of when celebrities show up or big names show up, it just something, it wasn't enticing. I know it sounds silly to be like, but I'm like, okay, it's a list, but what did they do?
Yeah.
And so that's what other people are saying as well. Like, okay, what is it? We can't say, oh, they did this, oh, they did that. So a lot of people in the news don't even know how to report on this,
right.
because they don't know exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So we just, only time will tell. And they said that there's going to be more information. I don't know what's holding that back or what process they have to go through first. But yeah, I'm interested to definitely see how that goes. So we can probably touch up on that too in the future.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's about all I had. I just wanted to, update everybody on Savannah, let them know that they did have a few suspects. Hopefully they are the ones that did it, and they get this solved pretty quickly.
Yes.
We just wanted to give y'all an update about the Epstein list if you haven't seen it. But yeah, that's all for our Around the World and Back.
Around the World and Back. Woo! Yes. Okay.
Average about it, just get glad that you found it. Tell a friend about it, know we all about it, so we gon' speak about it. Yoko, Camille, and Lady Roscoe, leave no doubt about it. Scream it out from the mouth. This not your average podcast. You ain't talking about nothing. When they hit the highway, yeah, they talking about something. Better tune in and listen. Get the scoop they diggin'. It's just an open discussion. Now tell me what's your position. You know what it is. Not your average podcast. You know what I'm saying? Yoko, Camille, Lady Roscoe, y'all tap in. You know what I'm saying?